Hey, Dean, Sear Performance, we're back, and we are still plugging away on the Airboat. Yesterday I got the V-bands welded onto the headers, and then today I started on the short side because we want to center the turbo like over the the air cleaner over the throttle body. Because it used to sit opposite, so like you could see I kind of centered the flange on the old setup. So with the turbos, you know, the back housing comes over and then it comes out, so it always sat a little farther over. So on this one I measured, centered the flange, or not the flange, centered the air cleaner and kind of measured over to center of the flange, and it was like a 2.5 inch offset or something like that. So I started with that 90 over there, worked my way up to the merge. I made the merge, which came out good. Had a little trouble cutting stuff, but I got through it, and it's just got this little bit of a gap, which looks really bad in the camera, but it's really not much. And then yeah, tacked the merge on, leveled it, made sure it was perfect level with like the motor and everything, and then I worked my way down this end. Those are kind of a couple of pieces that I cut. I don't know where I came up with that one. Oh, this one was short for that, but then I cut one piece. It was just a hair short, so I cut this one longer, did the 90 again, got the angle for the V-band and all that stuff. And what I am going to do, because the header is open all the way to the diameter of the V-band, so what I am going to do is once I weld the outside down here, once I get it all welded, I'm going to come back in and I'm going to weld this edge all the way inside, and then I'm going to take like the deburring tool and round it off. Same with this side, how the 90 comes in kind of on an angle, so it touches down here, but it's a little bit of a gap here. So if I was to put this on, this would be a restriction, this whole edge. So I'll do it like a blend. Same thing what I had to do for the T4 flange. It's probably hot, but that's okay. Basically I traced the gasket onto the top side, and I traced the merge onto the bottom side, so you can see how it's kind of beveled down to the pipe, and then it bevels out to the size of the turbo. And then once I'm done welding everything, I'll go back in and I will finish cleaning everything up. Because I am gonna, on this one, I'm gonna back purge it. Like the tacks are coming out nice, you know, colorful, they're not blowing through. But then on this one, it kind of got a little bit hot where the two pipes came together, and I was having trouble kind of leaning over and seeing, so it kind of started to pop the edge, and I stopped. So I took everything off, and then I came to the outside, and it, you know, start getting good color because I can control everything a little better. So I am going to take this, most likely I'll put like an aluminum foil on the bottom. I'll position this over one of the holes in the table. I'll pop a hole. I'll put aluminum foil over like that end, or I'm trying to get this clamp back on it so it stays. On these pipes, when they came from Ace Race Part, they came with these plugs in the straight sections, so they fit pretty good. Now obviously I won't be able to weld the flange with this in, but I might be able to weld this 90 with this in. I would doubt it, but I can use this one plug for like my hose. I can punch a hole in the middle, put my hose in there. It's a little better than the aluminum foil for me. I always have issues with that clear hose like tearing the aluminum foil. So I probably end up just using this, stick it, you know, in here, pump the gas through this side, it'll bleed out the bottom, and it'll bleed out the top out of aluminum foil. And then when it comes time, I'll flip it over, I'll weld this flange on, and then I'll pull the aluminum foil off that side, take this piece, put it on that side when it's cool enough, put the aluminum foil, and I'll bead around it again. But it's coming out pretty good. I also ran these on the lathe and ran some emery cloth on them because they're like super dull, you know, pipe. Not dull, but it has whatever coating on it that comes on this. And then the 90s were not quite, you could see the 90s cast, and it's somewhat shiny, like it was tumbled or something like that. So this pipe has some kind of coating on it that makes it ugly, and every time I slide it on the table, it gives it a big scratch, you know, all these scratches and stuff. You know, just to kind of make it look a little neater, I emery cloth them on the lathe, and then once they start heat cycling, I'm pretty sure these will turn like a brown and kind of stay a brown color. But yeah, you know, working along. I have to get a bottle of argon in the morning because don't think that's enough to run all those welds. But I'm gonna try. I gotta get a little aluminum foil. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. And then once all that's done, I'll get the wastegate flanges, get them on the 90s. I'm going to do them the same way, kind of pointing off, you know, to the sides. I may position them a little different or something like that. Once I get everything on, I can do all that. But that's about it for now. This is a quick one, but I appreciate you watching. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell to be notified of new videos, leave me a comment, and I appreciate you watching. Have a good day.